Day 50, selling books on Vinted and eBay, or eBay and Vinted, depending which title I remember to put in. 50 days, 50 days. To celebrate 50 days, I did decide that I was going to do something a little bit different for the video today. I can't take you out when I do a haul. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. The places I go, I get in on goodwill, and if I start filming things, then that could disrupt that. So I'm not able to do that. But I did manage to go out today. I picked up 242 books, I think the count was, which is great. About 100 of those are bread and butter for eBay, so where I've got my multi-listings, things to get added on there, and it's only across maybe 10 authors, but the vast majority are across just a handful of authors. Clive Cussler, John Grisham, Martina Cole, the vast majority were just from those three. So I'd had word that somebody had handed in a big collection, so I went and took advantage of that. Nearly all the rest will go on Vinted, so just lots and lots and lots of bread and butter bits and pieces. I feel like I'm getting further away from this microphone every day. But within all of that, there were 20 or 30 books that I thought looked a little bit interesting. So sort them aside, scan them, see if they are worth anything a little bit more than the norm. They might be worth sticking on eBay as individuals. This is what we have to find out. But from going through that 20 or 30, it was 20 something. I just can't remember exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 of them look like they might be worth sticking on eBay for a few quid themselves. So I just wanted to show you, picking up a big haul like that, this is kind of the stuff that I typically find in amongst it all. Some of it's really good, some of it's okay, some of it I'm not so sure. It seems to sell for a good price, but the sell-through rate is really, really slow, which is the case with most books, to be honest, but we'll try and price them accordingly and find out. Anyway, let's have a look. First up, we've got a big paperback copy of The Poems of Norman McCaig, edited by Ewan McCaig. I'm assuming that's his wife. That looks like it can go for around about £15 on eBay. So comparing that to what I would need to charge on Vinted, £8. So I think that's one for eBay. I just need to pile these somewhere where I can perch them precariously without causing a disaster. Right, next we've got a couple of Vogue On books. I've had these before. I don't know if I've had these particular ones, but they do sell quite well. We've got Vogue On Christian Dior and Dolce & Gabbana. Prices on this one are like 20 quid and weird things like that. That one's closer to a tenner, so probably I'll just put them both up for like £10 each and see how that goes. I forgot to put my light on. Give me a wee second. Yeah, hopefully that's a wee bit better. You can see them now. So yeah, Vogue On books. There's different editions as well. You get big ones, little ones, wriggly ones, squirmy ones, everything in between. But I'm reckoning probably about a tenner each for them. But kind of long tail. You know, none of these particularly are likely to sell fast, apart from maybe a couple. But so far we're looking at, what was that, 15, 25, about £35 in sales so far. Assume about a third profit, just to err completely on the side of caution. So let's make it £10 profit potentially from those 3 books so far. Banging. That'll be a bit more than that, but I just assume the worst. This one looked a bit curious. Gaston 11. I've seen these about a few times. Obviously they are in French, but sometimes they sell alright. And that one, it looks like it could go anything up to a tenner, but again, slow sell-through rate. So not, I see these aren't spectacular, oh my god, I'm going to get rich books, but just the stuff that you can pull out that's worth a wee bit more. I spent £60 today. So what I would always like to do is be able to pull out stuff that's worth that in profit, so that I can, you know, get that listed up fast and hopefully get my money back quick. but things don't really work like that. First of 2 signed books today, signed by the author David F. Ross, The Rise and Fall of the Miraculous Vespers. So I don't really know much about it. It's a £3-4 book on its own. That's eBay prices. With it being signed, there we go, a nice wee scribble on there. There's even on a little guitar. It might get a few quid more, so usually books like that, I try them at a tenner and just see what happens, but it might not actually be worth much at all. But we'll find out. New York, Doobie 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 Doo Doo, Through a Fashion Eye by Megan Hess. There we go. It's nice and it's shiny and it's glossy and it looks brand new. This, it's another weird one. It's anything from like 10 up to 20 quid is the selling price. So I need to work out exactly where this edition lies within that. It is in like new condition. I think me opening it there may have been the first time it's ever been cracked. So, you know, £10 to £15 would be my estimate sale price on that one. Not like this one. Godhead. A minute, I've got a gifted sticker on the front, which I want to peel off very carefully. It's always in the good books where they sticker them up and it causes damage. Joe Griffin and Ivan Tyrrell, Godhead, The Brain's Big Bang, The Explosive Origin of Creativity, Mysticism and Mental Illness. So there we go, nice big hardcover. And I was quite surprised, this £15 to £30. It's just one of those books, you see them and you go, oh right, okay. It's health and well-being, it's quite a intelligent take on it, rather than meditate your way to happiness. So yeah, that was quite nice. Unexpected to be worth potentially that much. I thought it might have been like a £10 book, but still, we'll double check the price on the sales, on the sold rates, etc. But somewhere between 15 and 30 quid looks good for that one. So what are we on? 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 60, 70... and then we'll just say 15 on that one at the moment. So that says 85 quid in sales so far. I'm keeping that one until last, because that was my favourite pickup of the day. Dylan Thomas, The Collected Poems, nice wee hardcover. Again, about 15 quid. So, you know, good editions of like poetry collections and such like, especially from names that are known, usually have a wee bit of value to them. That's the case for this one. So it looks about 15 quid for that one again, which takes us up to, what was that, £100? £100 sales? £100 sales value, yes. But I need 60 quid. Which is, this one might take me closer to it. There's another gifted sticker on the cover. Peel it off slow. Slow. Who built the moon? Could it be that the moon is artificial? Could it even be hollow? A seeming impossibility for a natural planetary object. Extraordinary claims indeed, but keep an open mind and read the compelling arguments based on scientific evidence and irrefutable logic. Arguments that will completely change the way we think of our world. So there you go. I'm assuming this is quite a recent book, although it's got a kind of agey look to it. 2005, first edition. The last one that sold for 20 quid. Everything that's listed is listed round about 50 up. So £20, if I list it that low, it'll probably sell at that price quite quickly. But it might be worth a chunk more than that. I don't know. But we'll just say 20 quid at the moment, which I think takes us to 120. 2 books to go. Shiny. This is Mythology, Timeless Tales of Gods and Heroes by Edith Hamilton and illustrated by Jim Tierney. So it's a beautiful book. That's, you know, one of the things I like is a beautiful book. It is missing a dust jacket. I'm pretty certain it's missing a dust jacket. Maybe this is how it came out. I haven't found any listings that show it just like that, so I am assuming it's missing that dust jacket. But it's a 75th anniversary illustrated edition. Basic editions of this seem to go 10, 15, 20 pounds, so potentially a wee bit more. I And like I said, I just need to make sure that it is meant to have a DJ, and then I can work out pricing appropriately. But maybe another 20 quid. I don't know. So that would take us up to like kind of £140 in sales, there or thereabouts, from that lot. Not like they're going to sell today or anything, but you know, it's the thought that counts. And I don't want eBay to be dead. eBay is dead to me at the moment, but I don't want it to be. So wait, feed the beast and hopefully get a few sales in, you know. Right, this is my favourite pickup of the day. I didn't even realise I had picked this up until I got back and I was just sorting through them. Ian Banks, fantastic Scottish author. The Wasp Factory. Oh, I mean, that was just like, I read that in I think 1992, and it was just like, oh yes, this is what a book should be. Read a lot of his just kind of contemporary fiction. Met him a few times, got a few books signed by him. Then kind of got into sci-fi, which was like even better. And I've got a few of his sci-fi books to read. So I have been trying to kind of pull together a collection of his sci-fi in hardcover and get the first editions, etc. So I saw The Algebraist, and I just grabbed it and threw it in the bag. So I do not have that one in hardcover, so I'll grab that for the collection. But then when I was pulling it out to stick on the shelf, and I may not stick it on the shelf now just because of this, it's got to be signed by the author sticker on the front. I haven't looked any further at it yet, but it is a first print, first edition. So signed by Mr. Ian M. Banks. First print, first edition. There we go, there's the wee signature there. To me, that's worth £100, which is what I am going to try and sell it for. To dear John, happy birthday, lots of love, Christine. So there we go. It's even got somebody's wee gift card on the back that is stuck on as a gift for someone, and I'm just going to leave that on there. I don't want to mess with it. But yeah, anything up to 100 quid for signed Ian Banks sci-fi books, and it's a lovely book. Kind of, we have stacked all those books. Everything's in shadow now, but there we go. That's it there. If you have not read Ian M. Banks sci-fi stuff and you have any inclination to enjoy sci-fi at all, read them. His culture novels, they're absolutely brilliant. I've not read that one yet, but I do have it already. Yeah, I'll sell it just because it's got a good value, and I need the money coming in, and it might get everything kick-started. So I'd say 80 quid for that. That takes me up to about £220 for that little stack. Let's say I need to get 60 quid back in profit out of that 220. I assume a third, which would be about £70, £73. Realistically, when it's high value stuff, it's much, much closer to being, 60% profit out of that. So realistically, it should be quite a lot more. But I assume the worst, and then everything else is a nice surprise. So that little bundle of, how many did I say it was? 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That bundle of 11 books there. If they all sold today, the profit from that would more than cover the entire pickup, and that leaves me with another 231 books that I would expect to make £1 a book on, or maybe a wee bit more. Some of them are still quite good, even though they're not like £10 plus books. So that leaves us another 230 odd quid in potential profit over however long that takes to get them listed and sold, and that's what makes a good pickup. So £60 pickup, round about, well, assuming everything else sold in Vinted for £1, that'd be like £500 worth of sales for £300 to £400 in profit, and that's good. It takes time to get it all done. That's the pain in the backside, but you can't have everything. Anyway, that was a little extra for day 50. I hope that's been of interest. See the kind of things that are coming through. Let's say I am still trying to make money on eBay. It just doesn't seem very easy at the moment. I'll be back in a wee second and I will show you all the orders. Actually, I did that already this morning. That's why I know I'm going to be doing it now, but I'll stick that bit in now and you can see what's sold on Vinted and eBay over the last day. Right, see you in a sec. eBay sales. Where's my glasses? I can't see. Found them. Ah, that explains a bit, doesn't it? Right. A massive day on eBay yesterday. I sold a hardcover Claire Douglas, I think The Wrong Sister, for $6.99, but I just got that packed up and sent off this morning because, you know, it was such a big order. I just wanted to get it dealt with. And alongside that, 5 Linda LaPlante novels. So this seems to be pretty much the only listing which is selling at the moment on eBay. 15 quid, 14.97 for the 5 of those. So that's it. That's eBay. It's just, oh. I did get a phone call yesterday from an eBay person wanting to discuss whatever it was, the initiative, but I just had a moan at them, so they didn't really get to their thing. But they're going to go and investigate for me to try and understand why everything just died and dropped off in November. Started going through all the usual, oh well, the algorithm likes these white backgrounds and it likes this and it likes that. And I said, well, that's fair enough. If I'd never had many sales or things had never picked and gone to a place, I would understand all of that. But the situation is, things were going quite good and then they fell off a cliff. I mean, they just died. The numbers in December make it look like it was okay, but that was, you know, over that Christmas period, you know, end of November, first half of December really, the sales were atrocious for that period. It had fallen away, and it was only because it was then that it was keeping it up almost just below what my average has been for the previous good few months. So he hummed and he hawed, and he said he would send me an email with some sort of analytics and I'd have it in a couple of hours. So that was a day ago, and of course, nothing. Didn't expect to get anything from them. So yeah, eBay can't come up with anything. I'm sure as a business they understand that the changes they've tried to make have not made them more competitive. They've not done enough, or they have done too much and just, you know, absolutely screwed the pooch. So yeah, eBay yesterday was, again, absolutely atrocious. I do have 40-50 books that I'm going to stick up on eBay later on today, just adding into my multi-listings. But I've taken down about 600 listings this month so far, and I intend to take down roughly the same again before I get to the end of the month, so that it's just down to that basic shop subscription and not costing me more than it needs to. Last year, on the first day of the month, when eBay took their fees, I would only make £20 or £30 profit because of the fees. Now, the way things are going, it's going to take me 3 or 4 days to pay that shop fee from profit, which is just ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. So that's why we need to get that closed all the way down. So it'll only maybe take me about, based on recent profits per day, it'll take me a day and a half to pay the basic shop fee, which again is still utterly ridiculous, but we'll just have to wait and see. There was one good day this month where we went over £200, and that just so happened to be Fees Day. Is that a surprise? Of course it's not. That always happens. You always get a wee flurry of extras when you need to pay them money. So yeah, one good day, that covered the fees, and then it just turned to absolute pish again. So yeah, really, really disillusioned with eBay at the moment. I say I will keep topping up my multi-listings until I get to a point where I need to take them down to stock the Vinted side of things. But I've got thousands of books to get through in Vinted before I need to get to that point, so we'll keep that ticking over. And who knows, maybe eBay will fix something in the next few months and that'll start picking up again. But really, you know, it's so disappointing, so disappointing. Anyhow, that's the eBay stuff. Let's have a look at some Vinted orders, which include a bundle of 6 books for £8.02. all the light we cannot see. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. I'll just pop these down. Then we've got 2 Greg Hurwitz. I do love Orphan X books myself. Orphan X and The Nowhere Man. And 2 Lisa Jewells. Then She Was Gone and The Family Remains. So that's a nice wee bundle to start it. Already made me more money than eBay did. Right, 3-book bundle next for £5.62. It's Diana Gabble Abel Yo Gabba Gabba. We've got Outlander, or Cross Stitch if you're old fashioned. An Echo in the Bone. Und. A Breath of Snow and Ashes. So that's the 3 Diana Yo Gabba Gabba Don. What did I say they sold for? Yeah, £5.62 for 3 books. So, you know, that's alright. £1.63. Whiskey from Small Glasses, Denzel Merrick. I think I've got one more copy of that I can list. And then Tahira Mafi. These just keep selling. Not for lots of money or anything, but they keep selling. £2.48 for that one. The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. Hardcover. £2.50. Make sure I don't make these bundles too big or they all fall over on the floor and I've got to sort them all out again. A bundle of 6 next for £15.95. But there's a reason for that. First 2 books, Gina Showalter, Zacharel, Heaven's Most Dangerous Weapon, Koldo, the Heaven's Most Wrathful Warrior. Found that last one difficult to say. Gina Showalter, some sort to do with angel erotica. It's a new genre to me, I'll be perfectly honest, but we've got the 2 of those. And then we have a lovely vintage copy of Different Seasons. I mean, it's in a condition, there's no doubt about that, but it's a first print of a wee Stephen King paperback, which is always popular. Sunfall by Jim Al-Khalili. Just grabbed that the other day. I think that was in Tesco actually, on their book stand there. So I usually stick like 50p a book in there just to be nice. So yeah, that's part of a bundle, that's fine. R.L. Stine, Red Rain, a bit more grown up from him. Nice shiny cover. And then finally, James Patterson, Michael Crichton, Eruption. So apparently there was an unfinished manuscript or a synopsis or an outline that's been sitting since Michael Crichton passed away, and James Patterson finally agreed to complete it for his wife, for Michael Crichton's wife, not for his own wife. And this is the result. I did think about reading it, and then I thought, no, James Patterson just bores the crap out of me, so I'm not going to bother with that. Whereas Michael Crichton books are usually quite good, but it wasn't a collaboration. It was James Patterson writing a Michael Crichton book, so I decided not to bother. And we've sold it instead as part of that lovely big bundle. Which takes us on to another single book by Lucy Score, Things We Left Behind. So again, a pretty recent pickup, £1.88. And then another bundle of 5 books for £6.42. Belinda Bauer, Snap. Jane Corey, Coming to Find You. Tanya Carver, Truth or Dare. Just very generic thrillers. Karen Perry, Girl Unknown. And finally, a little less generic, it's the follow-up to The Meg by Steve Alton, The Trench. So the films were very, very, very loosely based on these books, but I actually quite enjoyed reading them. They're not brilliant, but they're quite enjoyable, if that makes any kind of sense. Yeah, and that lot was, what did I say? Yeah, £6.42. Then for a massive £1.38, some Five Nights at Freddy's. What's that called again? Fazbear Frights #1, Into the Pit. So yeah, that's a cheapie. And another cheapie for £1.50, Joan Marble. What's it called again? Notes from an Italian Garden. There we go. A bit of Joan Marble going on there. Another cheapie. Why Mummy Doesn't Give a... I'll let you work out what the final wee expletive there is meant to be. £1.48. And then another bundle of 5, which is all Lucinda Relay for £11.72. There we go. We've got some sisters books and we've got some non-sisters books. 1 hardcover, 4 paperbacks. Big weighty bundle, that lot. But I don't have to pay for the postage, so I don't care. Yeah, £11.72 for that lot. And then 2 books on their own, 2 individuals. Each of these sold for £2.50. Another sweary book. And J.J. Ballard, The Crystal World, which, like I say, also went for £2.50. So yeah, that's the Vinted sales, which is, how many books did we sell? That was 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 22, 23, 24, 25, 28, 34 books. So a bit less than the last couple of days. And it sold for, what's that, 8 and 6 is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 36, 38, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 60, about £65. About, I'm kind of rounding up a lot of pennies in those totals there, but about 65 quid for 30, was it 34 books I said? Something like that. So that's good. You know, it's £65 profit. Add that to the £2.70 profit, whatever it was I made on eBay yesterday, and it's not the end of the world. Well, if that happens every day, it's the end of the world. But it's something to build on and work on, and we're still building the Vinted piece. I've had a couple of messages from people asking me if I have certain books because they don't want to have to go through all my listings to try and find them, which suggests that already getting to that point where people ain't going to go that far down. So I need to think about how to manage that so that there's new books there all the time for people to go and browse through. But what do I do with the ones that have ended up right at the bottom of my listing, of my store? How far are people going to scroll down before they go, I can't be bothered with this anymore? You know, it's something to think about and consider. I think on the phone it loads up like 20, 22 at a time, and then it loads up the next 20, and then the next 20. So 5 pages for 100, which means 50 pages to get through 1,000. So that's, God, must be nearly 60 pages worth that people would have to scroll through to see everything. So yeah, I don't know if that's kind of hit that point now where I don't want to be doing any more. You know, just keep it topped up, see how it goes. But at the same time, I need a bit more in daily sales value to be able to keep doing this. It's got to a point where if I was doing even a very small amount on eBay every day, it would be okay. But as eBay's just getting worse and worse and worse as the days go on, Vinted would need to provide a bit more. So something I need to think about, something I am thinking about, but I haven't really decided where to go with that yet. I need a bit more data, I think, before I can make any decisions on that. Anyway, that's all for today. Hopefully there's a first part to this video, because I'm going to do something now, and then I'll stick that on at the start. And yeah, this has been day 50, man. Day 50 of selling books on eBay and Vinted. 50 days in a row I've done, well, 51 actually, I've done these videos, And no wonder I've given up on the thumbnails for now. Kind of running out of time to do all the bits and pieces as well. Because although these things don't take an awful long time to do, they have to be done at a certain time of the day so that I can get stuff packed up and shipped out same day as well, rather than having all day to do everything. So this all gets crammed in early doors, and then that leaves me the rest of the day to do listing and such like. So yes, that's all for now. Thanks for watching as ever, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, bye bye.